Hey people, Intrigue here, 3v3 Faction War. This is Estia Province and Imperial Guard versus Chaos Space Marines. For the Blue Guard team, we have DanielGrushin with a Lord General fighting in ranged combat begins with a retinue of Stormtroopers can add to the retinue, giving him more abilities, really strong defense and support with a mustache that can block bolter fire. Alongside here, Inekura is an Inquisitor offensive hero with powerful control, begins in melee combat, can get specialized ranged weapons, looks like the Mordian Iron Guard, recolored white, looking quite snazzy. And rounding off the blue team here, Sergeant Smith 501 with a Lord Commissar, strong offense and support, fighting in melee, begins with a Refractor Shield, the Death Core of Krieg elite DLC here. Where's he going? Where's he off to? Oh, he's turning back. Red team, triple Plague Champions. First up is Omega here with the Death Guard elite scheme. We have Daddy Waroot with some Black Legion, good old Black Legion. And rounding off the team is Revs with the Night Lords elite scheme. These guys fighting ranged combat by default with a damage over time bolt gun, has some strong utility and support. Hammer of the Witches in the face of Daddy Waroot's Plague Champion. We do see some Nurgle worship there, helping fight back the tide of guardsmen. West side meanwhile, a little bit messier. Lord General in melee combat with some Chaos Space Marines. No, he's tying up the Plague Champion there. Heretics just casually exploding themselves and then they run away. The CSM should maybe be tying up those guardsmen. I think they're trying to shoot down the Lord General here. It looks like it's the Plague Champion to top the guardsmen then. Going to see a stomp, or at least threatening the stomp there. CSM backing off. I don't think they can stay in play though, nope. Has to run. Daddy Waroot and Revs with double Chaos Space Marines though. Makes them much more solid in those first few engagements. Good stomp on the Heretics though. I think it's so risky to send your Heretics into melee when they've got those Sentinels up. They're all going to get shot up and then stomped. I mean, it draws fire, I suppose, but I think it's much more worthwhile worshipping and edging closer to the guardsman lines. All the cover is destroyed on this corner, but these guys are huddling around this. It's only light cover though. Inquisitor's going to Hammer of the Witches and kill that Plague Champion. That was Daddy Waroot. 2-to-1 cap very early on here for the guard. Inquisitor gets away. A good stomp as well from Sergeant Smith. Looks like Inekura lost some guardsmen maybe, did they? There is a bunch of dead guardsmen here. I think they did. I think they did lose some guardsman squad, I believe. I'm pretty sure they had 2 of them. But I could be wrong. I like how the Heretics are just permanently stunned when they die. I mean, being dead is pretty stunned. We've got some Eternal War CSM here for Revs. 20% more damage, both melee and range. And as you can see, allows you to really focus fire single entities pretty well. And down goes that Sentinel. Can surprise you the amount of DPS those Eternal War CSM can pump out early on. Pushing all the way through here is DanielGrushin. We have Grenade Launcher Heretics just trying to peacefully worship things, but they're being harassed by some guardsmen and a Lord General in melee. Got the Medical Sergeant. Oh, it was only the retinue that were harassing him. The guardsmen are just shooting. Here comes Daddy Waroot out to the flank. Looks like their Plague Champion is back to his feet. And Chaos Space Marines in melee with guardsmen. Poor guardsmen. Chaos Space Marines are pretty good melee combatants for a predominantly ranged unit. And guardsmen are pretty bad at hitting stuff in melee. We have Alpha Omega with some Eternal War CSM as well, and some more Heretics. Is that double grenade launchers? It is. Double grenade launchers. It's just fun to use. Guardsmen kind of melt underneath them. Looks like they pushed all the way through here, Chaos. Inekura taking back the VP. Catachans on the field. DanielGrushin down to a single guardsman squad now. So certainly incurred some losses with that push. These CSM are pretty low, and those are Catachans. They're going to die. Down they go. Those were Rev CSM. Losses on both sides early on then. Looks like Chaos Space Marines came out of those first engagements slightly ahead though in terms of rosters. Need to get their VP back. They got some Havocs up from Daddy Waroot, and Noise Marines on the way for Omega. Got the west side back. Maybe they'll push on the power here, but it seems like not. Getting very close with your Heretics there. There's the barrage. Only knocked down a single model. That barrage was better. But there's the heal from the medical sergeant. Yeah, the heretics got way too close there. You want them behind your army when they have grenade launchers. You want your hero and your CSM out front. But you want to try and put them in cover too. Those guys got kind of wrecked. That was a little bit sloppy there from Omega. Meanwhile, through the mid, Basilisk Flare to mess up the Havoc's range. Look at that now, and they're firing up. Inquisitor's right here though. She needs to be careful. Has her Rosarius and also the Holy Brazier. In terms of war gear, it's a power melee weapon, so it can really mess up those Chaos Space Marines in melee. And the Holy Pyre ability is pretty good too. Catechins all round for the guard players. Some Raptors here for Revs. Those guardsmen had flamers, I believe, trying to bash. In fact, they did bash the power. Look at it. It's super bashed. Well played over there from Sergeant Smith. Can they get away though? Can the Raptors jump again? I think they can, but they're not doing it. Oh, they didn't need to. Guardsmen wiped. Poor bastards. Did a good job burning down power, and then some superhuman, slightly demonic bastards come jump on you. Noise Marines with their Sonic Blaster deal heavy damage to structures like generators. Bad news for clumps of infantry too. They can disorientate them and shut down their ranged attacks, and that includes chucking grenades and stuff. There you have it. Once that symbol appears, they're shut down. And they're going to get onto the power and probably get a full bash maybe. Heretics busy capping. Any war gear for our Plague Champions? Yes. The Bile Spear for Daddy Waroot and Mucus Discharge for the Breath of Nurgle heal. Revs with the Mucus Discharge as well. 1-to-1 cap. Relatively even tier 1. Guardsmen have done a lot with a little here. They took some heavy losses in the early fights, but have kept the pressure up as much as they could. Power is being bashed though. CSM go for the decap. Catechins are here though. They can disrupt the Noise Marines maybe. Yep. Right into the path of the Inquisitor's power melee weapon. And one of them dies. And Catechins are there too. Ouch. That was a nasty flank from Inekura. Lots of Nurgle worship in the mid. Havoc's pushing up. Bunch of CSM here as well. And Raptors, of course. That can jump onto some guardsmen maybe. Need to be careful of the Catechins. Need to be careful also of this Inquisitor, because she's starting to have a big impact here. Looks like they're fighting the Lord Commissar. Does he have the power sword? Nope. Now they jump some guardsmen that have that suppression on landing. Then they eat a stomp. I mean, that's good harassment in the back lines though. Even if they don't kill a lot of stuff, they're jumping around, they're tying things up, they're suppressing stuff. 439 to 416 Chaos continue this push through the mid, supported by those Havocs and that suppression. There is an improvised explosive here. The Heretics with their aspiring champion can spot it. Bile Spewer Plague Champion, fantastic at bashing gens, does some good damage too, with a debuff on hit, which is awesome, as you can see there on the tooltip. Slightly late with their tier 2s, they certainly got out-teched by the guardsmen. Can the Imperial Guard push the tech advantage though? They do have a Chimera up, some Stormtroopers on the way too. Those grenade launchers messing up these guardsmen, and down they go. DanielGrushin just lost sight of them there, and that was the bilious discharge of the Plague Champion. It does affect your own units, so need to be careful walking into your own discharge, as it were. -1 Havoc. Oh, they took out the Havocs. Where were they? I don't see them. Oh, around here, I think. Heretics also maybe white. 9 hit points, 5. They get away. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. It was Daddy Waroot who had the Havocs. Not sure exactly where they got taken down, but they are indeed gone. Really topsy-turvy game here. Down goes one of the Plague Champions. That's Daddy Waroot again. Here comes that Inquisitor. She's a big threat here. Decently tanky with her Rosarius up. There's a Holy Pyre, and then gets into melee with you. Look at that. Catechins counter-initiate on the Raptors. There's Touch of Nurgle. Pretty easy to spot there. Eating some grenades. Need to get away, fellas. Raptors are in retreat and I think they're going to be okay. Touch of Nurgle is a global ability of the Plague Champion, makes the models explode on death, doing big damage and knockback to nearby enemies, also healing any allies nearby. Allied infantry, that is. Did they get away? Yeah, they got away. Plasma Guards on bashing power now. Who needs flamers? Lord Commissar with Bionic Eye for Inspired Determination, suggesting maybe Ogrins. Need some resources for that. We have 4 Stormtroopers on the field. Are they all Assault Stormtroopers? They are, so could see some big frag grenade spikes. And that burst damage is nasty too. Dreadnought on the way for Omega, also for Revs, and Plague Marines for Daddy Waroot. 2 of the Plague Champions are down. Oh no, he's not. He's alive. Running away. Plasma guns. Painful for the Chaos Space Marines. They can't really trade with them very well. Certainly not efficiently. Hell Fury Strike on the Heretics. So rude. Never let them worship stuff in peace. Raptors jumping in again. Catechins are there though. Lord Commissar also there, getting kind of wrecked. Plasma guns coming back out of the Chimera. Gets away with a single model again. Plague Marines missed. Went behind the shock blocker, I think. Ouch. These guys also explode on death, but they don't heal themselves, which is a shame. They used to. Here's a Chaos Dreadnought there, with an autocannon. Decent damage to all targets with a smaller area of effect. Pushing off the Commissar at least. And if you can shoot a clump of guardsmen, or stormtroopers let's say, that autocannon can do some work for you. Double Plague Marines here for Daddy Waroot. Murderous Noise Marines. Do they have their Blastmaster yet? They don't. They're really effective against Catechins. Shut down their shotguns and all of their disruptive abilities. Can they finish them off? Not quite. Needed to go around the other way, I think. Or maybe. Yes, the Chaos Dreadnought got it done. CSM here with an aspiring champion. Not afraid of melee with a Lord General, I think. Although he does have the Commissar fella, who's pretty good in combat. Pushes through. Chaos are going to retake the west side, but they are under pressure pretty much everywhere else. DanielGrushin now down to just 2 units though, goes tier 3. Inekura with Kasrkin on the way. Catechins suppressing some Plague Marines and knocking them back. Plague Marines don't mind being suppressed too much. They move pretty well under suppression. Well as Plague Marines can move, that is. Big old retreat. They need to make this push count, I feel like. Get a decap, bash the power, do it quick. Improvised explosive is there, don't need to be careful. Any marks for these fellas? Nope. Marco Zinch. Probably not worth it against Guardsmen unless you see a bunch of Ogrins or something. I mean, it is more DPS, but it really shines versus heavy and super heavy infantry. Leman Rush dropped in by DanielGrushin. That's a nice trick to have. That's the Lord General's Global. Good special from the Inquisitor there. And his tank could be in big trouble because there's a Leman Rush and it's pushed up really far. I always think it's super risky to push your walker vehicles up this far because they're never quick, are they? Just going to get shot all the way back. 371 to 320 on the VPs. More Kasrkin for Inekura. Oh, looks like they cancelled the first one and got some heavy weapons squad, fellas. Is that for a las cannon? Nope. Have a heavy bolter at the moment. 363 to 320. So how did they do that? They didn't get a decap and they didn't bash. So that wasn't a great push from the red team. Other than breaking out, they didn't really achieve a whole lot. Meanwhile, west side, power bashing stormtroopers are here. Now they're meeting the wrath of a very pot-bellied Chaos Dreadnought. I don't think they actually bashed anything. No. Oh, but here's a tank. Boom, boom. It survived though. It got back. The Dreadnought lived. Ouch. That burst damage though. From 4 Stormtroopers, that's going to be nasty. Might get a full bash here. Imperial Guard right back onto the front foot. Raptors jumping in. They have their aspiring champion now for that heavy melee demon wall. God Commissar flies in there. Sentinel, did he get the stomp? Trying to get a stomp, I think there's touch of Nurgle on some heretics. Must have already used a stomp or something. It's much brighter now, the touch of Nurgle. I think they made it easier to see. Raptors doing some really good work there, you know. They didn't take that much damage either. Last cannon's getting shots. That's Inekura's heavy weapon squad. Big damage and snare on hit. Looks like the Dreadnought is far enough away. West side though. They continue to push. To DanielGrushin with just 3 units doing all this work. Marco Zinch Chaos Dreadnought here. They didn't use the Frenzied Barrage to suppress those guys, but he does get rid of them. They got a full bash pretty much. They champion with no war gear here. What do we got over here? Fetid armor as well as the other things we saw for Daddy Waroot. Nothing new for Revs. 363 to 259. The Commissar gets knocked over. So they protected their side of the map at least, the Chaos Space Marines. They didn't get penned in the middle at least. Last Cannon's still getting shots. This Dreadnought is level 2. Uh-oh. Chaos Space Marines trying to cap. It's not the time to cap random contested powers, fellas. Gotta fight for your lives here. Inquisitor really wants one of those models. Special attack misses though. This is a line of guns that is not easy to approach. You need the Raptors in there. Are the Raptors still alive? They are. That was a Hell Fury strike dropped in by the Inquisitor. She's level 4 now. Plague Marine trying to get shots in. Being knocked over though by grenades and stuff. And they're constantly repairing those tanks as well. CSM just hanging out over there. 358 to 240. It's some Kashyyykin on the way for DanielGrushin. That is a Noxious Cloud. I'll be able to do some work with it here. Some good damage, look at that. They dropped 2 of them in. Maybe they could have caught them by surprise, but they got into the Chimera. Chaos Dreadnought still under threat. It's going to go down. Down it goes. And that had Marco Zinch as well. They invested in that Dreadnought. 339 to 240. I think the Dreadnoughts have really slowed down the red team here. I don't think they've done a huge amount. I think just getting some more Havocs up would have been better. More Havocs up, then try and ride that to tier 3. Or maybe just spam Havocs on Plague Marines. 333 to 240. The Guard are retaking the west side, and here we see the Stormtrooper Power Bash from Inekura and DanielGrushin. Oh, it's all Grushin. These are Kashyyykin as well. Kicking off in the mid. There's another Noxious Cloud. Forcing at least one retreat there. I mean, they are edging forward, but they're taking losses while they do it. That slaughter up on those Chaos Space Marines. Noxious Cloud was okay. I think the Dreadnought's going to fall though. Yeah, down it goes. I guess it soaked up some damage at the very least. There's a Holy Pyre back there. Inquisitor's having a huge amount of fun in every fight. Just messes stuff up and then runs away. Blastmaster trying to set up for a big shot here. I'll be able to get one. There it is. Oh, it hits the tank. Oh, it hit the Chimera, sorry. I thought it was going to go for the infantry. Another one. Big damage on that Chimera, but now it's going to be tied up by the Lord General and his entire retinue here. Look at this. Just stabbing them with their guns. Yeah, the Chaos Space Marines, I think, are done for. I really think the Dreadnoughts from 2 players was a bit of a mistake. Slowed them down. Didn't achieve a whole lot for their cost. Those things are like, is it 110 power, 120 power? It's a lot. Especially if you start giving them upgrades. They're up into the 140, 150 power range. It's a hell of a lot to spend in tier 2 on a single unit. It's got to do a lot for you. Bilious discharge there. Into a Noxious Cloud again. Oh, these guys got determined. Which means they can't retreat, but they're okay. They can move nice and fast. 333 to 148. A double cap for the guard. We do have a Nurgle Chaos Predator up. I mean, it's tough, but it's going to get messed up by a Vanquisher Leman Russ all the same. Having to back off there. They've got the decap as well. Land Raider Phobos on the way for Waroot. And another Chaos Predator for Revs. They did so much damage to the Guardsmen too early on. They killed a lot of stuff. The Guardsmen just kind of breezed their way back into the game. Got some solid tier 2 units out. They got the Chimera, they got the Stormtroopers, and that really carried them through. Raptors have done well actually, but yeah, jumping into that much plasma gun fire, good luck. They're going to die, aren't they? Yep. The Curse of Indrid is strong. Why do I say words? What is this? Plague Champion dying. Was he trying to throw a grenade or something there? Looked like it. Love the Daka. That is painful. Look at that damage. Bloody hell. All being buffed by the sniper rifles. Fire on my target. Even more range. And a rocket running base. Ouch. That wiped out Rev's army pretty much. He only has a tank left. Another Noxious Cloud. It's going to be a win for the Imperial Guard for sure. They're going to get a triple cap. There it is. Here's a Land Raider Phobos. They are fighting to the end, it seems like. That is too strong. Tier 2, they really kicked on despite not having a lot of stuff on the field. The Chaos Space Marines just didn't take advantage of their pushes when they did well. They needed to get on the power and onto the VP and really go on the front foot. Just didn't have the speed to do it. Hey, champions ain't very quick. There's a Imperial Abyss. And the Dirgecaster. Down goes the Phobos. Had a grand old time though, didn't he? Plague Marine trying to catch us another Noxious Cloud. How many is that? Like 7 or something? GG. And the Guard take it. And was a pretty solid performance really. A pretty clean win for the Guard there. Level 8 Lord General. And a level 5 Inquisitor. And the Lord Commissar I can't select. He must be inside something. Plague Champion level 2 there for Omega. Level 4 for Waroot. Went down a few times I think. And Revs was level 5. Got hit by lasguns to the neck. Lots and lots of them. Solid performance from the Guard. There you have it guys. Thank you for watching. Big thanks to these players for taking part and for Impregnable hosting such things. I'll see you next time.